Today I'm starting year number 2 of my doctorate program. And in 2 days from now, I am going to begin teaching an online class at my alma mater. I'm really excited about it. I have loved this doctorate journey that I've been on, and I've got another 2 years to go. I love teaching, and I'm really excited about getting back into that classroom setting. It's going to be a little bit weird though, because it's online, because, 2020. But if I'm honest, I'm also kind of nervous. I'm nervous that I'm not going to make the most of my time, and that's going to result in somehow failing in my doctorate work, or as a teacher, or as a pastor, or a husband, or a dad. And man, that list just keeps going on and on. That's just kind of one of the ways that my brain works. I'm always thinking about how I'm not enough, and I have to fight through that. But I've been thinking a lot recently about the sacrifices that we make in order to do the things that we feel like we're called to do, and to do the things that stretch and grow us. In fact, just last night, we sat down, Sharon and I, with our daughters, Hannah and Selah, and we were talking to them about sacrifice. We felt like it was important for them to hear us say that as pastors' kids, we call them PKs sometimes, that they make sacrifices that they didn't choose to make. Sharon and I chose the life that we live as pastors of this church called Life Church. Hannah and Selah did not make that choice. They were born into this life of sacrifice, and they carry it really, really well. We're so proud of them, but we want them to hear us say that we see it, that we understand, we get it, that they did not choose this life. As a parent and as a leader, I constantly have to think about how the way my sacrifices that I choose to make affect the people around me. Like my girls, again, they didn't ask to make these sacrifices, but they make them with us because we chose it. It affects them in all kinds of ways. I have to think about my leadership team here at the church as well. You see, they didn't sign up for me to go and get a doctorate degree or to teach a class at college. They didn't sign up for any of those things, but because I signed up for them, they have to sacrifice more of their time to pick up some of the leadership places where I'm not as present as I was in the past, so that our people can still have leadership presence. All of our choices affect other people. And when we make sacrifices, that affects other people as well. But here's the thing. When the sacrifice is only mine, when I don't share that with other people, I have this temptation to begin to think that the reward is only mine as well. But the reward should belong to everybody in the community, right? I mean, think about our church leadership team. They're making sacrifices so that we can do church the way that we do. We have volunteers who make sacrifices of their time so we can do church the way that we do. Like, I shouldn't be the only one who knows all the good stories or who gets the accolades or gets the rewards. That's not the way that good leadership is supposed to be designed. And the same goes for good parenting. I mean, my wife and I are making sacrifices to do life the way that we do. I want our kids to know why that matters. I want them to get to see the benefits. In fact, I think this is why a lot of pastors' kids end up having this stigma where they end up resenting the church, or they end up leaving the church because they're being asked to make sacrifices that they didn't sign up for, and then they just resent it because they don't know why this matters. I think this goes with businesses as well. When a person is being asked to make sacrifices to do hard work for a job, they need to know why this matters. They need to know the benefits and the rewards. The same goes for our Christian journey, for any kind of journey that we're in. Not everybody's going to be a part of making the choice to make a sacrifice, but everybody who sacrifices, even if they didn't choose it, should get to benefit. And that's actually one of the reasons why I want to start vlogging. There's just so many stories in this life as leaders, as church leaders and teacher and student and husband and dad and friend and community member. There's just so many stories, and we don't get to share a lot of those very often.
So I want to share those along the journey that we're on. I want my daughters to be able to look back years from now and be able to hear me tell these stories, and maybe in the middle of that, hear me say that their sacrifice mattered, that it was important. I want other leaders to be able to watch these videos and maybe learn a few lessons along the way, but see what it looks like to be a leader in the world that we're living in now, as it's constantly changing, and what that takes, but to also be able to see that it's worth it. So I don't know what this is all going to look like. I don't know how often I'm actually going to post new videos. I don't know what those videos are going to be about, or what these stories that I'm going to try to tell. I don't really know anything. It's going to be a learning process. It's going to be a journey. In fact, it's a journey that I just want to call Leader Life. Share with you some of the behind the scenes of what it looks like to be a leader in 2020. Side note, sometimes being a pastor means that you have to figure out why you have leaking sprinklers on your church campus. I don't know how to fix that. Thankfully, I have people that I can call. Thanks for sacrificing some of your time to join me on this first, vlog of this Leader Life journey that I'm on. If you liked what you saw today, let me turn this light on here for a second. If you liked what you saw today, then subscribe, like this video. You'll be able to see more of these videos as they come out. Who knows what it's going to look like as we go, hopefully together. If you've got stuff that you would love to hear me talk about, questions about leadership or our life or behind the scenes stuff that you want to see, comment, find a way to let me know about that stuff, and we'll see what we do about it. All right, thanks for joining me for Leader Life number 1. I got to go call a guy about a sprinkler.